What is the meaning of prospective and retrospective operation of statutes? First of all, consider the effects of a statute. They can be legal, social, economic, political, etc. These effects are essentially the creation of some rights, benefits, liabilities, offences, obligations, etc. If suppose a statute comes into force from the 1st of January of 2024, it will have effect on the subject matter of the statute from that date onwards. So, if any actions, events or transactions that are covered by the statute occur on or after the 1st of January of 2024, the statute will have an effect on them. This is the prospective operation of a statute, and this is the normal operation of a statute. However, what about any actions, events or transactions that occurred before the statute came into force? Under normal circumstances, the statute will not affect these. However, in some situations, a statute may work retrospectively and have a backdated effect on them. A point to remember here is that just because a law is enacted, it doesn't mean it has become effective. The date from which the law becomes effective may be specifically mentioned in the law itself, or may be mentioned in the Gazette when the law is published, or the government may issue a separate notification on a future date to specify the date from which the law becomes effective. So, prospective operation is the general rule, and statutes normally affect the events, actions and transactions that occur after the statute or the law has become effective. This ensures predictability and protects existing rights, which means that if people are expected to follow a law, then that law should be applicable at that time. Retrospective operation, where a law affects the events, actions or transactions that happened before the law or the statute came into effect, is less common, and it requires a clear intention from the legislature regarding the retrospective effect. Article 21 of the Constitution prohibits ex post facto application of criminal laws. That is, a person cannot be punished for something that was not a crime at that time. For example, if a speed limit on a road is fixed at 60 km per hour from the 1st of January, then people should not be punished for driving faster than 60 km per hour on the previous day. In a particular ruling, the Supreme Court held that not only criminal laws, even civil laws that impose penalties, forfeitures or other burdens that are of a criminal nature are prohibited by Article 21 because their effect is similar to punishments under a criminal law. Typically, retrospective statutes tend to be amending statutes. They clarify an ambiguity in an existing law, so they can be applied retrospectively. But remember, the amendment should be clarifying only and should not amount to significantly changing the law. Sometimes retrospective statutes may be curative in nature, that is, they correct or cure any past legal mistake, legal flaws, or historical injustice. In both these cases, if the statute is creating a right or creating a benefit to the affected people, then this retrospective effect will be welcomed. The Central Goods and Services Amendment Act of 2018 had a retrospective effect. Since this retrospective effect was beneficial to the taxpayers, it was valid. The Finance Act of 2012 amended Section 9 of the Income Tax Act with retrospective effect. This was done after the Supreme Court's decision in the Vodafone case. Now, this amendment of Section 9 led to quite a bit of a debate about the fairness or rather the unfairness of such retroactive tax laws. Another interesting example is the 2016 amendment of the Benami Properties Act. This was a situation where the government claimed that the amendments enabled a civil action whereby the Benami property would be forfeited or taken over by the government. But the Supreme Court held that this amendment was not procedural in nature. This was in fact a substantive law. Therefore, it cannot be applied retrospectively. Also, the forfeiture of the Benami property was a punitive action, leading to a penalty or a punishment, similar to a criminal law. Therefore, it cannot be applied retrospectively.